All right,
All
well,
right.
welcome back to the Rub and Tub podcast. We got episode 2 this week talking college football. We've got a new guest this week, Parker. What's up, Parker?
What's up, boys? Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. Virtually, of course.
All right, we got some Texas A&M. I think that we got to get out of the way first, Luis.
Yeah, we'll get that out of the way first. Yeah, just to establish some context, because it's not even just for viewers, but for Parker as well. So before we even get into like the weekend and like the game start, Cole gets his first audio hater after episode 1 goes up, and I've been saying all week like I'm not gonna reveal who it was until we started recording this. Cole, who do you think your first audio hater was?
First of all, I have a pretty good idea of who it was, okay? But second of all, I wore a special shirt for him and for all the Texas A&M listeners out there.
Oh Jesus!
And I wore this shirt for them right here.
Oh buddy.
Specifically
have a
for
very-
who I think it was. I think it was Emilio. Was it Emilio?
Yes, it was Emilio,
I
and
fucking knew it.
and I'm gonna
I
go
said
ahead.
that right after you texted it to me. I was like, bro, it's Emilio. I already know it's Emilio. He's just a hater on everything.
Dude, Emilio.
Emilio.
Leo.
I want to preface this by saying I actually really like Emilio. I think he's a cool dude. We're friends. But he's a hater. He's a hater.
Shout out Emilio, because this might be an ongoing feud for the duration of this podcast, bro.
I think you're about to throw some fuel on the fire too.
Bro, straight up. But yeah, no, that'll definitely be an ongoing feud. But and also to preface, I did not say anything or even give any hints into who it could be. But I mean, Cole just nailed it. Like it was Emilio. Shout out to Emilio. I know you're probably gonna be listening to this, so I'm sorry if Cole's about to tear into you. But yeah, so Parker, so you get his first hater. You predict correctly who it is, and so this is what I did. I took a couple of notes on what he said because I don't want to misquote him, Emilio. Like I know you're probably gonna listen to this, so I don't want to misquote you, but I did have to quote some of these so Cole could retort with whatever his immediate thoughts were on these quotes, these takes, and also on the game itself, because we know how the Miami A&M game. But some things. So I was on the phone at the gym the other day, and Emilio's calling me up, like talking good things on the podcast, and he goes, "Bro, Cole is a hater." So Emilio's under the impression that you despise Texas A&M and that you're very biased. Quote, you hate Texas A&M and you're very biased was number one. The second
Who am I biased about? Oklahoma?
He thinks that you're biased against Texas A&M.
Just against Texas A&M?
Well, yeah, he just thinks that you and Hunter were maybe too rough on Texas A&M. But I honestly might argue to the contrary, because we didn't even say any. I don't think we said that many bad things about A&M. We said Jimbo Fisher mid or subpar coach, ended up being kind of proved right this weekend. But we'll dive into that in a little bit. But anyways, another thing he said was that Texas A&M would go 12-0 with Oklahoma's schedules. He said that because he knows you're an OU guy. I'm not sure if he's referring to just this year's schedule or past schedules, but he said Texas A&M would go 12-0 with Oklahoma schedules. We play in the SEC. Our schedule sucks. And so,
dude, your impersonation of him is so spot on.
I don't even know who this guy is.
Oh, okay, yeah, I might establish a little bit more context for Parker. So this guy Emilio, he's one of my best friends from back home, back in San Antonio.
Okay.
This dude moved to America in the middle of high school, so that's why his accent is way thicker than someone like me who just grew up here. But anyways, he said that.
Got it.
He also said that when we were talking about Jimbo Fisher, and calling him a subpar coach that he's not a subpar coach.
That he's not a subpar coach.
And that the only reason it has not gone well for Jimbo, again, this is a quote, Emilio. So, like, if you listen to this and come at me later, like, you said this, I wrote it down. That's all this is. He said that he inherited a big mess from Kevin Sumlin, and that's why things have not gone well for A&M. There is a little bit of truth to that, in my opinion, but there's also, like, he's had, like, 5 or 6 years, in my opinion.
I was going to say, how long has he been the coach there?
I think this is his 6th year, I want to say.
Yeah, someone's guys aren't even there anymore.
This is his 6th year. Yeah, so he's had 5 years now. But anyways, I mean, Cole, this is your first audio hater, so I'd like to give you the chance to respond. I don't want to talk too much about it. So, I mean, this is your feud.
First of all, I'm not even an A&M hater. I don't even super dislike A&M. I mean, we at least A&M and Oklahoma have one thing in common, and that's that we both hate Texas. Okay, so like I don't really have anything against A&M. Do I think they're annoying? Yeah, I do. but like I don't like despise the people of A&M. I don't like despise their football team. Do I think that they underachieve? I think they do. I wrote it down right here just because I did say I took lots of notes. A&M has 12 5-stars on their team right now, just from the past couple of recruiting cycles. I mean, which year did they have the number one recruiting class, Luis? Was it 22?
The number one recruiting class in history was last year. So last season they were all freshmen, I believe.
Okay. They have 6 5-star defensive linemen and a 5-star DB, and they have 4 other 4-star defensive linemen and 11 4-star DBs. So 12 4 and 5-star DBs total. How many missed tackles did their secondary give up in this past game? I can't even count them. I tried looking for a number, like I couldn't find it, but I guarantee you it would be over 30 if I had to guess. Maybe even closer to 40.
It was, yeah.
And to say that Jimbo inherited a mess from Kevin Sumlin is such a weak excuse. I mean, am I wrong about that? Like I feel like that's kind of weak. Like that was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
Kevin
I feel
Sumlin
like they've had more than
has
enough time
absolutely
to
zero footprint on this team. So I don't understand that excuse. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Luis, do you have an opinion on that?
I do not understand this. Yeah, but
What's
yeah,
up, Chase?
I mean, do you want to talk about a little bit more about the game? Again, like I was saying earlier, that was one of the games where I did watch at least like 3.5 quarters. So essentially the whole game, and just what you were saying, I did see a lot of Miami receivers just bouncing off of corners and bouncing off of dudes. I was texting Cole earlier that those Miami receivers must have had like deflector shields or something, because these dudes could not tackle them for the life of them. And this is also something, I think Emilio even said it in this group chat that I was in. He was saying that their secondary was looking like TCU's out there, and I wholeheartedly agree, just because it was the same thing. Just like if it wasn't a blown coverage, it was just missed tackles. And then what was the stat that you said, Cole, that you like saw like the yards after catch that Miami had?
Okay, Tyler Van Dyke had 374 yards and 5 passing touchdowns. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I saw from I think 2 different sites. Both of them were Aggie sites. So I don't know which number is correct, but I'll give the lower number just to err on the side of caution. Out of the 374 yards that Tyler Van Dyke had, 246 of them came after the catch. That's
Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable. 374 yards, and 246 of them were yards after the catch. The second Aggie site that I saw said that it was 286 yards after the catch. So I don't know if one of those was a typo. But at least 246 yards after the catch. Dude, that secondary not only had blown coverage over the top, but they just didn't wrap up. Like the amount of, you said it, the amount of Miami like receivers and running backs that were just, not necessarily the running backs, but in the passing game, the running backs were doing pretty well. But especially the receivers just bouncing off of A&M DBs all game long.
Mhm.
Like you can't win a game like that, and there's no excuse because you have the talent.
Did you watch the like the very last touchdown Miami scored to basically ice the game?
Remind me of it.
It was like a third down or something. I think at that point they were still only up by one score, so like 7 or 8 points. Guy catches it in stride. One guy misses a tackle, and then he straight up like bounces off of the safety, and then runs another like 40 or 50 yards for a touchdown. Like it was,
Yeah.
dude. You should have seen me. I was watching the game at Lot 12 before the TCU game, and like he bounced off of him so hard that I burst out like laughing like unintentionally. Like I wasn't even trying to make fun of them or anything, but I bounced off of him, and I was like, it was more so like just me making fun of whoever that corner or safety was, because I was like, that was dog shit. That was awful. Like you didn't even try. Like sure, you went in and tried to tackle him or whatever, but he just let him bully you. Like bounced off of him. The way Chase's head will bounce off the canvas the next time I see him, but. Yeah, whatever. We'll see, bud. We'll see, buddy. Next time you come in town, I'm digging that liver shot straight into your rib cage. But whatever. That's a talk for another time. But
Yeah, I mean that's my thoughts on the A&M game. I don't really think that there's much to say about it. Like they just underperformed. Um, the, I don't know how you can say that like Kevin Sumlin still has a footprint on this team. That's like what I'm like most stuck on from what Emilio said is that like Jimbo inherited a mess from Sumlin. Like, bro, that was 6 years ago.
okay,
Like, that,
I will say this. Like this is similar to Texas, and we'll talk about Texas later because I was dead wrong on that Texas Bama game. But what I had said last week was that if you give Texas a quality elite head coach, they turn into a totally different team, a totally different program. They probably turn into a powerhouse again. But I think A&M's in a similar situation. You know how I was saying last week, I don't think Sark is that guy. I
yeah,
don't think Jimbo is that guy for A&M either. And I think he had a great career at Florida State. I mean, I went ahead and looked it up. He went
no.
83.
Jameis Winston had a great
Yeah,
career.
Jameis. Well, yes, I've gone on record multiple times saying that I think Jameis Winston made Jimbo Fisher's stock like way higher than what it should have been. But then I went back and looked at his record. He went 83-23 at Florida State, and he had 6 10-win seasons. I don't know how many of those resulted in like a New Year's Six win or anything like that, but I mean that's still pretty decent. So he goes from being 83-23 there, and now at A&M his record is 40-21, 40-22 now after that Miami game. Like that's he's already essentially at the same loss total that he had at Florida State, and he was there for what, like 8 years, 9 years. Like he was there for a minute. And I think my opinion on him hasn't changed. Like I don't think he's that guy for them. I think A&M will probably thrive a lot under someone else. This might be the year where they finally fire him. We'll see. There's still 10 more football games for them to play, so I don't know. Did you watch any of that, Parker?
Bro, you're talking about the A&M game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did see towards the end. I saw that. I know exactly what final touchdown you're talking about when he bounced right off that dude, bro. Like, dude, no, that was quite ridiculous. That was quite ridiculous. But the one game that I was actually really surprised by was that Alabama versus Texas game.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
God damn it.
I
dude,
mean,
like
shit.
what the
I know we didn't want to see any of that. That's like the next game I guess we could talk about, but it's also like a perfect segue because how like what a terrible week for the Emilios and GWs too. Like so I have another buddy GW. They're both A&M mega fans. Like the A&M fan base. They're very passionate. And
Yeah.
I kind of feel for them and sympathize because I've had those weeks where your team loses and then one of your like biggest rivals has like a great game. Like what a terrible week, bro. They lose to Miami and then Texas goes on and beats Bama in Tuscaloosa, and I'll take my lickings now, dude. I was dead wrong on that game. Like I really thought that Bama was going to pull it off. And I didn't watch much of the game, but dude, I was coping hard too. Like I was like my buddies will tell you I was in this group chat with them, and I was talking so much shit. I was nah, dude, Bama's just trash. Like Texas ain't good. Like they're trash. Like screw them, bro. Like I was coping, but dude, I went back and then I looked at the highlights again this morning, and A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy, like those
Yeah.
two receivers they have, look really fucking good. Like they look
Yeah, they're fast.
insane. And Quinn Ewers, I'm still not even super high on him, but a lot of what like why he was so successful against Bama is just because like these weapons are finding themselves wide open and they're running the perfect routes. Look,
So yeah, Luis, like I was obviously wrong too last week about that game. And I'll admit it, like I was probably a little biased when I said that I think that Bama is going to win just because I am an OU fan. But Texas did play really well. I'll 100% give them their flowers. They beat arguably like the most consistent team in America. All right, especially at home. That was crazy that they won that game, and huge for that program too. But and I hate saying this because like I said, I do not want to take away from Texas's performance, but like I feel like it definitely has to be mentioned that Bama did not look like the Bama of normal. They
yeah.
definitely were outplayed. Texas outplayed them, but it did not look like the same Bama that like we're used to. I've never seen Bama blow coverage over the top like that ever.
No.
I've never seen them be beat that badly off the ball. Their defensive line was completely manhandled pretty much the entire game. Yeah, I mean Texas won the line of scrimmage, and that's why they won the game. And they beat Bama's DBs over the top pretty consistently. Quinn Ewers' deep ball looked good. It did look good. And there were question marks around his deep ball like after week 1. So
Dude, there was that
good.
one touchdown. It was either I want to say it was A.D. Mitchell, and it was like the perfect deep ball, like
Yeah,
in
yeah,
stride in the end zone. Like the safety and corners had been burnt, and it was like the trajectory on that ball too was like crazy high. I don't know how he threw that as perfectly as he did. So
it's
I
a nice
mean,
pass.
obviously like it's easy, like it's much easier to do your job when you have those weapons to throw at that are just getting open on every single route. And and even the O line, like the Texas O line looked pretty good. Like they coped with. I mean, it's again just to like say what you're saying. It's not like the Bama that we're usually used to that goes like 12-0 or even 11-1. I still think it's a decent Bama team, so you have to give credit to Texas. But I mean, dude, they looked really good, and even on the defensive side of the ball, bro, like Milroe looked so uncomfortable for so
Yeah,
much
he
of
did
that
not
game,
look good.
and he looked amazing when he would scramble and rush for a couple yards. But when he had to
That's
like,
all he could do.
yeah, that's all he could do. He had to do it
I
because
mean,
if he wasn't
yeah,
doing
on
that,
the offensive side of the ball, like they just didn't they couldn't move the ball consistently. I mean, Jalen Milroe is definitely not the quarterback play that Alabama is used to over the past, several years with guys like, I would say maybe going back to like AJ McCarron to, Jalen, Tua, Bryce last year. It just definitely wasn't like what Bama was used to.
yeah,
That was not like again, I don't want to take it away from Texas because Texas won that game and they played really well. They didn't have any, unforced errors. Um, but I do want to throw in there that was not the Bama that like I'm used to seeing. So
Do
yeah,
you think that game was almost like a statement game, really, like that'll kind of carry on the rest of the season for Texas and maybe even for Bama?
I don't know. That's a good question because and it's tough to say this because something tells me I'm gonna get clipped right here and I'm gonna be dead wrong about this. Because Texas might be really good this year. Um, but if like history repeats itself, Texas will lose 2 or 3 games now. They're gonna ride this massive dub a historic dub in their program, like in a turning point for their program, and they're gonna get high on themselves, and they're gonna drop a game or two to teams that they probably shouldn't drop a game to. But I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but I'm saying that that is a possibility because that is what's happened in the past. Bama's got a tough schedule coming up. I mean, they've got. We just finished talking about A&M, but I mean, if A&M can maybe tackle a little bit better, they could beat Bama. LSU had a bounce back week. They could very well beat Bama if they play like they did this week. Do they have? They still have Auburn on their schedule. I believe they've got Ole Miss, who just came off of a huge game. That could be big. Like Alabama could drop a few games. I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility. And real quick, because the dogs behind me are getting a little loud, I'm gonna let them out. Come on, Rocket. What made you?
For the dogs for sure. They are yearning for the rub and tubs. I still think the biggest statement game was just Texas, dude. I mean, regardless of whatever we think, because the way I see it is regardless of whether or not we think Bama is going to be a contender and they're going to be normal Bama or they're 8-4 Bama, which has never happened in the Nick Saban era. Dude, to go into a place like Tuscaloosa, like it's not easy. And they did, dude. In the words of Sonny Dykes, they did their job, bro. Like Quinn Ewers threw for 350, 3 tubs, no picks, no mistakes. A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy, dogs. I mean, I'm looking at the stats, bro. Like all of their receivers, like at least they had 3 receivers with at least 75 receiving yards. Like they were just on the money. And yeah, rubbing tubs for Texas. As much as I want to hate to say that, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So I got hit by a fucking car riding on a goddamn bird scooter.
On a bird?
Bro. So, yeah, on like one of those like electric scooters.
Hold on. Let's tell all 20 of our listeners where you live first.
Yeah, all right. Let's preface this. I live in San Francisco, bro. Yeah. Dude, and the crazy thing is that like I got hit by this car, right? And like that wasn't even like I came home and I told my roommate, it wasn't even like news to him. Like he was like straight up, like he was just like oh damn, like welcome to the club, because he's been hit by a fucking car too, bro. But but basically, like, all right, so liquor stores close at 2 a.m. out here. I don't know if that's everywhere, but they close at 2. So it was about like 1:45, right? And I'm like, dude, I gotta hit it before 2, right? So I hop on the scooter, and there's literally I'm going through this intersection, right? And there's this car waiting to turn left, and it's red. So I'm like, dude, fuck it, I'm gonna go around him, and I need to go straight. So I go on his left side, and right as I start going by him, the light turns green, and dude, I'm fucking full speed, and this car just turns and just clips me, bro, and I just go flying, dude. I just went flying off the scooter like over the front, and I'm just like laying there. I'm like sitting there for like a couple of seconds, and the car just like stopped in the middle of the road, just like very like confused, like what the fuck just happened. And I'm just like, oh my god, bro. And I go to get up, and they just fucking take off. They just took off down the hit and run, bro. Just took off. I made it there by 2 though. I did make it to the liquor store by 2 though.
Oh dude, my god.
Well, thankfully it wasn't an actual bird. Like it was like our own scooter. Like we have a scooter at our place. Yeah. Yeah. No, but like as the days went on, I was like, 'cause I was pissed he took off, but then I was like, I don't know, like could I be faulted for that, bro? Like I was driving in the wrong side of the road, running a red, but
oh, you ran a oh, I didn't hear that part.
Well, like it was like I was about to run the red, and as I started going, it just turns green and he just starts going.
Jesus.
Either way, I went flying off that shit, bro.
Oh my god.
I'm good now though. I was
Oh
sore. I was
jeez.
sore for a couple days, but
But you didn't like injure yourself or anything like that?
no, not
Just a
any
couple
serious injury.
bruises.
Nothing. A couple beers couldn't help. Yeah, I'm in the inner Richmond district. It's not as bad as the other districts that you hear about on the news and shit. All the meth heads.
All right, since we were just kind of talking a little bit about Bama and Texas and Quinn Ewers, I'm gonna give you guys, because I wrote down over here some notes, like my personal Heisman watch, and I bring it up because we just talked about Texas and Bama, because someone from Texas is now in my Heisman watch. All right, here's my list. Caleb is on it. But my number one is Michael Penix.
Michael
Michael
Penis.
Penix. 28 of 38 just yesterday, 409 yards, 3 touchdowns, and his passer rating was 185. Number 2 on my list also looked fantastic again, Bo Nix. 32 of 44. 359 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, passer rating of 156, and a dub against Texas Tech in Lubbock. Number 3, Quinn Ewers, 24 of 38, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 166. Number 4 on my list is Caleb Williams, 19 of 21, 281 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and this is crazy. He had a passer rating of 250. And he also had a rushing touchdown to go with it. My number 5 spot, I have a tie between 2 people. Sam Hartman, 15 of 24, 286 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, and a 217 rating. And then tied with Sam Hartman at number 5, I've got Shedeur Sanders, 31 of 42, 393, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown, passer rating of 168.
Dude, Shedeur was a dog again this week.
Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Quinn Ewers, Caleb, and then at the 5 spot, a tie between Sam Hartman and Shedeur Sanders.
Dude, I like.
I know
that
I'm
list.
a hater for this. Yeah, that's a good list. What I was gonna say is I know I'm a hater for this, bro, but I'm just waiting for I feel like Colorado's gonna fall off, but I figured, bro,
You think
I
so?
don't know. Dude, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm think I'm just a hater for it, to be honest, but I don't know. I just expect them to fall off eventually, bro, but they just keep doing all the right fucking things, bro. Playing really well.
Well,
Their defense doesn't even look bad.
I want to say
Seriously.
something. Like Colorado will lose games. No one's expecting them to go 12-0, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a fall off when it does happen, because they will most likely, the games that they need to win, they will probably win. They have a tough schedule, and they'll probably end up going, my prediction, I think they'll probably go 6-6 at least. That's probably reasonable, maybe.
I was thinking more 8-4.
If you take their ceiling or take the positive approach, they can go 8-4. So they probably won't be a top 15 team consistently, but the reason it won't be considered as much as of a fall off is because they went 1-11 last year. It's a totally new team. They do have a decently tough schedule. It's more so just seeing how good can they do in year one. So if they go 8-4, they should be ecstatic. Based on how the last 20 years have gone, or how the last 10 years, they should be happy with anything better than 6-6. I think they'll probably go 6-6, 7-5, because I do think there's games on their schedule that they'll most of those they'll drop. But I don't know, dude.
I think if they reach 500, that's a dub for them.
Yeah, because
no
truth be told, they're 2-0 and they've beaten 2 teams that are probably not going to be super, super good. TCU, we'll still find out later, I guess, how good we are. my expectations have been kind of tampered based on the last two games, and I know Nebraska's like always terrible, and Nebraska's a terrible football team. Like, they're so much fun to make fun of. It's hilarious. Like, dude, Sims. I was texting Cole, bro. Like, I don't know
Jeff
how.
Sims. Oh my
I
I don't
god.
know if you Parker and Chase, if you guys watched that whole game. Baylor and I were here watching it like at my place, and the Colorado
Colorado,
Nebraska,
Nebraska.
and I'm
yeah,
gonna
I watched
give
that one.
I'm gonna give credit to Colorado because they looked good, and I'm gonna give credit to Shadur because, like, at the end of the day, throwing for how much did he throw for? 393.
393 with 2 touchdowns and a
Dude, like,
rushing
he
touchdown.
threw for 500 plus, and now 393. Like, I don't care who you're playing, that's not easy to do, right? Like, it's not
No.
super easy to do. Like, he's still playing like a dog.
He was
Yeah, but anyways,
slinging
what I
that
was about to
shit,
say
too.
about Nebraska, I was texting Cole about this during the game, or I was texting somebody, and I was like, dude, is Sims the worst quarterback
Oh
in
my
Power
god.
5? Like, he was so bad.
Probably the worst starter. He's probably not the worst quarterback, but he
Even,
might be
I
the worst
mean,
starter.
it was so bad, dude. Even the commentators were shitting on him. They were like, bro, like, Matt
Yeah.
Rule, you might have to find another quarterback, bro. Like, this guy's literally playing like a bot. Like, he's
Yeah,
not
he was
good.
bad.
Let me look at his stat line.
Luis, I'll add to that real quick because I sent you a text about this and I'll just kind of paraphrase it. Because you made a comment about about Emilio and GW and all those your A&M friends like upset because they stormed the field after game 1.
Oh yeah, they were
Okay,
really
first of
upset
all, hold
about
on.
that.
They went 1-11 last year. They're 2-0. It's a brand new coach. It's a new culture. A coach with a lot of hype around him. Your football team has been irrelevant since the dawn of time. Okay, they've never. When was the last time Colorado had a good football team?
Well, they won the Natty in
I
like
think they
in
won
like the 90s, didn't they?
Okay, they had one good team. I think that was the lone year that they won the Big 12 too. They had a lone good year, all right, but for the wildly overwhelming majority of time, they've been a irrelevant program. For you to come in and dominate the national champion runner-ups in week 1 and then come out in week 2 and bully, granted, they are a wildly irrelevant team since for the past few decades. They are still a blue blood. To bully Nebraska in week 2, that's cause for celebration, I feel like, if you're Colorado. Like, I don't care if you're a fan of it or not. Like, that's cause for celebration because they're playing really well right now. And this is something that they've really never seen. I mean,
Can you see my screen?
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I'm just pulling like their record over the last. Yeah, like, they have not had a very good 21st century. They had one year in 2016 that was all right. They made it to the Alamo Bowl and
Yeah,
lost
I
there.
mean,
But beyond that, bro, they haven't made a bowl game since 2016, and they've gone 5-7 3 times, 4-2,
they made a
4-8.
bowl game in 2020.
Well, yeah, but that was COVID year, and they went
I mean,
4-2.
it doesn't change the fact that they've been an irrelevant program forever, really. Like, it doesn't change anything.
No,
I mean,
they were really upset at that.
there's
Like,
cause for celebration there.
yeah, I told them I didn't have necessarily a problem with it, just given the context of, like, it's Prime's home debut.
Yeah.
It's like this is the most excited they've been about their program in a long time. They went 1-11, just like you said. They're 2-0. Like, granted, it was TCU and Nebraska. Like, it's not like they went out and beat Georgia and Bama, but still, like, there's cause for celebration there, and I'm fine with it. I think it's funny though that they were trying to gatekeep like field rushing.
You
And
know
then
why they're upset? You know why they're jealous? They're
Hmm.
jealous about it. That's what it is. That's why they're upset. That's why they don't like it.
It's the
It's
attention.
because Texas A&M has been a program that has had an insane amount of hype around them for a while, and they've done nothing with it. So when they see other programs have a bunch of hype around them and then actually live up to that hype, it's called jealousy.
Well,
That's what
dude,
it is.
I'm
At
man
the end of
enough.
the day.
I'm man enough to admit I've been very tired as well with like all the Prime propaganda being thrown in my face. But I can't, dude. Like, I can't hate on it too much because, like, I get it. Like, you've been terrible forever. Like, I've seen my school like rush the field like when we've had a terrible season and then we knock off someone that like isn't amazing, but like we still knocked them off and like it's cause for celebration. Like go storm the field, do whatever you want. But I did think it was kind of funny. There's this one friend who's also another Aggie fan. His name's Jack. Shout out Jack Sant. He was the most vocal about it, about how he was like, "This is stupid. Like they should not be rushing the field." And I'm like, dude, just let them have fun. Like just let them cook, bro. Like come on.
Like I said, even though they've been, pretty irrelevant for a while, like Nebraska is still a blue blood.
Mm.
Like you're a program that's on the come up that has been, like I said, irrelevant, and you just beat the Natty runner-ups and then a blue blood in back-to-back weeks. Like that's awesome if you're Colorado.
Yeah,
Like
rubbing
that's like, I
tubs.
mean, if you're I'll use Arizona State as an example because I live in Arizona. Like if you're Arizona State and you all of a sudden do that, you beat a ranked team, Natty runner-ups, and then you turn around and you beat a freaking blue blood the next week. Like that's cause for celebration. Like that's cool. Like I don't
Rub
blame you for celebrating.
rubbing tubs for Colorado and Prime. As much as I hate to say that, just because I'm tired of all the propaganda, but dude, they earned it. I mean, it's dude, I was such a big Dion hater over the last couple months in the off season, but I don't want to say no, he has proved me wrong actually. Like I was like, dude, this guy is
Yeah.
not going to be a good coach. All you need at Jackson State is better athletes and better recruits, and like you're guaranteed to win. But they have, like, yes, again, it's TCU Nebraska, but they outcoached and beat both of those teams. Like it's not like they fluked their way past it. Like they beat them and outcoached them. Dude,
Not like
and the
Matt
two
Rule's a
coaches,
bad coach either.
yeah, I was gonna say that was my next point. The two coaches behind those teams were Sonny Dykes, who was the national coach of the year last year.
Yeah, bro. I think they have cause for celebration. And then what I was saying is that the two coaches that he's beaten, like Prime has beaten, it's National Coach of the Year Dykes, and then it's Matt Rule, who he's not. I mean, he's not Bill Belichick, but he's also not like some scrub. Like he did great
Yeah.
things at Baylor, and he'll probably. I mean, it's not been hot for Nebraska, but I'm sure he'll help them out a little bit too. So we'll see, but. Yeah, bro. I've eaten my words with Colorado and Prime so
On
far,
the
at
top
least.
on the topic of Nebraska, real quick, I'll make this short. Matt Rule teams have always performed poorly in their first year. I mean, he performed poorly at Baylor. Where was he at? Not the Panthers, but where was he at before he was at Baylor?
Let me look it up.
Go ahead,
He was
Luis.
at Temple.
Sorry. Okay, his first year at Temple, I just couldn't remember who it was. His first year at Temple, they performed poorly as well. So like Matt Rule teams have historically performed like it's taken a year or so to get his system under control and under
Dude,
the players' belts.
I'm pretty sure his first year at Baylor, they went 1-11.
Yeah, yeah. No, they were terrible his first year.
They were awful. And then the next year, or they went to like a Big 12 title game. Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm remembering now. Like Aranda is the one who won them their Big 12 title. Now that I think about it, like Matt Rule was gone, but he had still turned that program around, and I'm
But
pretty
he
sure
did
they
take
won.
them to the title.
I think they did go to a Big 12 title game, and then I'm pretty sure
They
they,
lost to Oklahoma.
yeah, and then they also went to a New Year's Six. So, I mean, it's not again like Rule isn't some scrub, but I don't know, man. That's my thoughts on Colorado. I think they'll be decent. I think they'll probably go 6-6, 7-5, maybe 8-4 if they're like very, very lucky. But I mean, like you have to take them somewhat seriously. Like
Yeah.
I can't make fun of them anymore.
I agree.
Especially, I mean, they beat us. They beat TCU, so.
I'm looking at my fantasy team right now, and oh my gosh, Chase, what did I tell you, dude? I told you that Brandon Ayuk was a good pickup for me. And what were we saying is that he's
Yeah,
so
he has-
inconsistent. He has 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he has two.
Bijan's playing well. Bijan's got a receiving touchdown. Gosh dang it, Luis, I'd be beating you right now.
Am I beating you?
Actually,
I honestly have not
yeah,
tracked any of my
actually,
scores.
I actually am beating you. But oh my gosh, dude, I should have started. I thought about starting Brandon Ayuk too. Jordan Addison has a touchdown too, bro. if they can keep this up, my fantasy bench looks good.
Yeah, bro. I've always been a Niners fan. They also just re-signed Bosa, and Bosa, like, dude, that's like a huge key, bro. Huge key. Like,
Yeah, God. Cardinals might be the worst team in football this year. Actually,
I
not
saw.
might. I'm pretty sure they are. They are.
Dude, I don't think they're favorited in a single game. Like
No.
point spread. That's
I
crazy.
actually think that there are multiple college teams that could probably beat what they put out there every Sunday. Like Arizona looks terrible, and that kind of sucks. 'Cause
Yeah.
I live here. And I also love Marquise. I love Kyler. Like,
Hey, but the
I'm a
price
big-
of
I'm a
tickets
big
might
Cardinals
start
guy.
going down.
So
Yeah.
I probably could get some cheap tickets.
Yeah.
I probably
They're
could.
gonna drop.
Hey, Cole,
Yeah.
how far is like ASU or just ASU, I guess, from Scottsdale?
Well, ASU has so many campuses. So like from where I'm at, the main Tempe campus is probably an hour away from me. And then their second largest campus, which I believe it's their second largest campus, is the downtown campus. And that's about 45 minutes away. It's in downtown Phoenix. Parker and I were talking about doing something. Parker, you should try and come out here too. I don't know if I want
Yeah.
to go out there and get hit on a bird scooter.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
actually,
bro,
that'd be fun.
Niners
that'd
don't
be
even
fun.
play in San Francisco. They play like in hours. Yeah, they play like in Santa Clara, like an hour south.
They play in the nice part of San Francisco / Oakland.
It's the Wild West out here, bro. It's the Wild West out
It
here
really
sometimes.
is. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get Baylor's reaction to the Izzy fight last night.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Like I low key
Bro.
kind of want to talk about that too.
Dude.
Parker, did you watch the fights last night?
Yeah, bro. I had a parlay going, but it didn't hit. But bro, how the fuck did Izzy lose? It feels like a sick dream, bro. It seems like a sick joke.
I want to point this out because I think that.
Uh,
Wait, Parker, did you watch the whole fight?
The Izzy fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you can attest to this because we're the only two people here that watched the fight. I don't think that I've ever seen a more dominant yet like defensive performance in a championship fight in the UFC.
You're
I mean,
talking about
Sean, yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah,
Sean.
Sean.
He was like he wasn't even really active, but he was so
Yeah.
defensive, and because he was so defensive, like he controlled the cage for 25 minutes,
Yeah.
and
I completely
he just
agree.
looked
Like,
dominant by being defensive, if that makes sense.
yeah. Dude. I don't know, bro. That shit. I didn't believe that was real. After like,
I couldn't believe what I was watching. Okay, wait, the new AP poll just dropped. All right, let's go over it while
Dude,
while we're on.
Colorado's number 7.
No way.
Nah, I'm
Holy-
fucking with you.
I was gonna say.
I was like, wait, what?
Hell no.
Texas
And
is what? No way. Okay, no, that's the type of propaganda I will not stand for. Like, there's no way, you give them a first place vote.
I mean, I don't know, Luis. I mean, I
No,
feel like you
dude,
might be able to.
I just spent so much time giving them credit and recognizing that they could be legit, but I refuse to believe that they should get a first place vote.
Colorado moved past
wild.
Oklahoma. Yeah, it's Oklahoma is 19 and Colorado is 18. Clemson fell out. I mean, in the second half,
Clemson did not look pretty.
they still won by quite a bit. They came back in the
Yeah.
second half.
They did. They pulled away, bro. But it was like 14-14 after the first quarter, and then it was like a close game for a significant portion of time. And I switched the channel. I stopped watching it. I was like, this team is terrible. Like I don't think that. Even one of the commentators made a great point. He was saying like the thing that made Clemson good was they had good players, like good athletes, and like you just don't really see that right now with them.
No.
Like you don't see like studs that they like used to have. Like remember when they had like ETN, I mean even Hunter Renfro, like they had just dogs and studs, and like I don't see that there anymore.
Hey boys, I'm gonna hit the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. You guys keep talking.
All right.
Can you take the podcast with
Yeah,
you
talk-
to the bathroom?
Talk shit about me. I want you guys to talk shit about me.
Sick.
Thanks for that, James. Honestly, I want to talk about TCU really quick because I haven't even gotten a chance to say anything about them. I was so pissed off the whole game just because they did not look as good as I thought they would be. But maybe I was being a little too critical because I had a couple beers and like I was just mad in general, I guess, from the last week. I didn't realize Chandler Morris went for like 26 of 30 and threw for like 260 something. I was also super critical of the backup quarterback because when he came in for his 2 snaps, he threw a dude. Cole knows. I was texting.
I'm gonna read the text.
I was, dude, Parker. This kid comes in for like Chandler's helmet comes off after like a great drive. Like we're driving down the field, 1st and goal. His helmet comes off, so he has to set out a play, and we throw in the backup to like hand it off. First snap, he's in, fumbles the ball. We lose it. We literally lose the ball, bro. And I'm looking at Baylor. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, who is this guy? And then he comes in towards the end, like once the score is like 41-6 or whatever, because I wanted to give him some reps. And he just throws like the worst pick I've ever seen. And I start texting Cole, and I'm like, dude, like, nah, bro. Like this guy, like, bro, if Chandler Morris gets hurt, like TCU's going 10-2, like, or 2-10. Like we are so like he is so bad. He's so bad. And like granted, I did have like a couple beers like at that point when I was texting him. But Cole, yeah, do you want to just like read these text messages?
he said, first of all, shout out to Josh Hoover. He said, dude, if Chandler Morris gets hurt, TCU is going 3-9. Josh Hoover is the worst quarterback ever. Dude, Josh Hoover in his first 2 drives had 1 fumble on 1st and goal and a terrible pick just now. It pissed me off so much. I told our group that we're leaving. We just left the game because Josh Hoover went into the game. He said, no, bro, I'm serious. He's that bad. Remember when Bevel came in for Oklahoma in the Texas game? He's worse than that. He had 3 snaps and managed 2 turnovers within those snaps. Like, he is bad. And then he said, this is the golden part. He said, I have never played anything other than kicker for 1 year in high school. I kid you not, I am better than Josh Hoover.
You were a kicker in high school?
Dude, I was so mad. I was way too critical. Like, cause I mean, it happens, bro. Like you fumble the ball, or like you throw a pick, like whatever. And I was just like, I don't know how many beers I'd had at that point. Like I'd had a couple. I was tipsy. And then I went back and looked at his stats, and I mean, it was like it wasn't awful. It wasn't Davis Bevel numbers, but I mean, he went 2 for 3.
Davis Bevel didn't have any numbers. He didn't even throw the ball.
This guy almost didn't have numbers either. He went 2 for 3 for 50 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And like that was it. Like we didn't see like anything else other than that. But I was just so mad. I was just so frustrated because like the game wasn't going the way I wanted it to. Like I wanted to win by like 80, and we still won 41-6. Like that's still like a decent amount of points, right? But I was just so pissed because we would be going for it on 3rd and 4th down, and it looked like Sonny Cumbie was back, like play calling. Like there was like not that, like the play calling was not that good. And then I had to put it into perspective this morning. I was like, all right, well, like they were playing Nicholls State. Like maybe they were just trying to test out like what does work and what doesn't work. And like now they know like what not to do once we start playing like better teams. But dude, yeah, I'd had a couple of beers. It was a fun game though. Like I was surprised at the amount of people that still showed out. Like the student section and like everyone was still there even after the loss last week. and even it with it being Nicholls Day, like it was fun. So I think Cole, whenever you visit for that BYU weekend, it'll probably still be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hope it's fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to that game. God, I'm so upset, bro, because Jordan Addison
Joey-
has 14 points, Brandon Ayuk has 25 points, and they're on my bench.
Dude, Joey
Luis,
B
I am
has
still
1.44 points. What the fuck?
Jeez,
Yeah, they're getting their ass beat.
that's not good.
And 10-0. I guess not ass beat, but yeah, bro. Deshaun Watson rushing touchdown.
Well, anybody got anything else that they want to talk about today?
I was hoping for a Chase story.
That's what we were all hoping for. Oh God.
Bro, James is my dog. I appreciate it.
All right, I think it's maybe time for a tub of the week.
I concur.
So Parker, we do these we do these tubs of the weeks at the end of the episodes, and it's basically just like a highlight of your week, like something good that happened, whether it's like a game that you watched or like a bet that hit or just like a happy moment in life.
I mean, honestly, yesterday I started out pretty well gambling with the Colorado minus 2.5. I'm not gonna lie, I hit pretty big on that. Hit pretty big on that, and then it started off. It did not. Or yeah, I was gonna say. I guess that was like Tuesday that happened. So almost a week.
Luis, what you got a tub of the week, buddy?
I was very fortunate that I got to go to another football game and finally see my team win again. Had a great time this weekend. And then I was also kind of happy last night when I was driving back to Dallas from Fort Worth, because Cole was texting me the live updates of the Izzy fight. And I had said before, like, I usually root for Izzy, but I wanted Sean Strickland to win just because I think he would be the most entertaining champion in the UFC, like from a shit talking standpoint.
Yeah.
And so I was really surprised to hear that he like won 4 rounds to 1, maybe even 5-0. So I still haven't gone back and watched the fight, but I was kind of happy with that, how that ended. So yeah, that's mine.
I'll kind of carry off of that because that was going to be my tub of the week. So I'll add a little bit to it. I'll add like a supplementary tub of the week. Oh God, I should not have said supplementary because now my wife's going to kill me. But anyways, my tub. Well, never mind. My tub of the week was going to be the Izzy Sean Strickland fight, because Sean Strickland is for the people. I love Sean Strickland. He's the people's champion, and God bless America. But because Luis just kind of said that as well, another tub of the week for me. I'm going out to dinner tonight with my wife, and that's always cause for celebration. So if my wife is listening, I love you.
Yeah.
Bro, I told you, like, you can't make enemies with that guy. He said, get your bands and energy up.
Get your bands up.
Yeah,
For
once you
episode
get your
3
bands
next
up.
week. All right, it'll be a secret.
Wild card.
We already know. We already know who's coming on. Remember, I told you guys.
I was gonna say he sent it in the. Yeah. I'm not gonna say
It's a
who. I'm not gonna
secret.
say who, but you did say.
Guest. It's a massive guest. He's big time, big
It's
time
Jameis
baller.
Winston.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Rubbin'
I had a great
Tubs,
time.
episode 2. If anyone made it this far, thank you guys for listening. Episode 2.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.